So good to see you on TV Rain. Thank you very much, Mr. Dershowitz, for being. First of all, I would like to understand how important and how serious these allegations are. And do you think Donald Trump is going to jail seriously?
These are serious allegations, but they do not withstand careful analysis. The key is, what did Donald Trump think in his own mind? If he actually believed that he had won the election fair and square, and that the victory of President Biden was unfair, then everything he did was proper. It would be the right thing to do to challenge a fraudulent election. And if he actually believed that, he has no criminal intent, no state of mind necessary to commit a crime. So although there's a great risk and he could end up in prison under Georgia law, prison is mandatory if he's convicted under the RICO statute. I don't believe that this case will withstand appeal. It might result in a conviction, but I think on appeal, it would be reversed.
And the case will go to the high court, right? To the Supreme Court of the United States. It means that it can last for years and years, and he can become president before the decision is made, right?
Yes. If he's elected, he can't pardon himself because this is a state case. But the case will go up to the Supreme Court. It would take at least a year or more for the case to be reversed on appeal. But that's part of the process. I believe that prosecutors are trying to get a quick conviction to affect the election, and then they care less about it being reversed on appeal. But the voters would be perhaps influenced by a conviction in the case. We have to wait and see if that's true.
So just to make it clear for the Russian-speaking audience of TV Rain, do you think that the fourth case that we have heard yesterday about, is this more serious than the previous three ones, or it's just another case?
Well, I wrote a book about this about a few months ago called Get Trump, in which I go through all of the alleged indictments in the case, all four of them. And I think none of them are particularly strong. The strongest one probably is Florida. The weakest one, that's the classified information. The weakest one is New York. And the two, the Georgia case and the Washington case, are both strong, but the government is going to have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Donald Trump knew he had lost the election. And that will be, I think, very difficult to prove.
Okay, but we know about the phone calls from Washington, from Donald Trump to the state secretary of Georgia,
right.
state of Georgia, talking about the calculation of the votes. Isn't it strong enough? And, you know, I was thinking, do you see the political motivation in these cases? Do you think that this is a political vendetta against Donald Trump?
Well, I think it's a political case. There have been many contested elections. There have been no criminal cases. The phone call is the best evidence in favor of Trump, because he says in the phone call, I need to find. And the word find in English has a very specific meaning. Find means they're there to be found. The votes are there. You just have to look hard for them and count them. He didn't say make it up or manufacture it or invent it. He said find it. And find means that he was asking them to do the right thing, just to count, to do a recount, to make sure that they can find another few thousand votes that would put him over the top. So I don't think the phone call is incriminating. I think it's helpful to Donald Trump himself.
So, you know, to keep on the conversation, I was wondering whether you would agree with the attitude towards you that you are Trump's, like a person very close to Donald Trump. Are you close to Donald Trump?
I don't even know him. I've met him only on a couple of occasions. I voted against him twice. I plan to vote against him a third time. I don't think he's good for America. I defend him because I believe in the Constitution. In the 1950s, I defended communists. In the 1970s, I defended Nazis. I've defended O.J. Simpson. I've defended Jeffrey Epstein. I don't agree with the people I defend. I'm like a doctor. When somebody is a sick patient, I try to cure them. When somebody is indicted for a crime or subject to impeachment, I represent them, but I will not vote for Donald Trump. I don't think he's a good for America. I will vote against him, as I have twice before.
You will not vote for Donald Trump. So
no,
you have another choice. Is this a conservative politician or a Democrat?
I've always voted Democrat. Since 1960, in every election, I have voted Democrat. And I plan to vote Democrat again.
We operated in Russia for 12 years, and the government tried to get rid of us 3 times.
We had to leave, forced out of the country by new repressive laws after the first week of the war. Our freedom crushed by the authorities.
Мы временно приостанавливаем работу телеканала.
We survived, started working from Europe, and now we are watched by millions of people every day.
There's no other independent news channel in Russian. We have now decided to tell the truth about Russia in English as well.
So that you could get news about Russia, the war in Ukraine, and Russian society directly from the source.
We want to tell you firsthand what is really happening in Russia. Subscribe to TVRain Newsroom on YouTube, and let's take a look at our future together.